Hi, I'm Liz Cully, and welcome to a special episode of Cool, Cool, Cool. In this series of episodes, I chat with cool people about parenthood. From my fears of getting pregnant to selecting a donor to how to juggle a career and a family, we talk about it all, and nothing is off limits. I was looking for a podcast that represented more of what I experience in the world, and I couldn't find it, so naturally, I decided to make it myself. So, welcome to, I guess, an adult version of Cool, Cool, Cool. Much like my forced sobriety when I got in trouble at boarding school, I have had a forced sobriety and a forced calm down after my first round of IVF. If you want to turn off this episode right now, go ahead. This is definitely under the I'm scared to have a baby episode profile. So if you're over it, you want to talk about IVF, I completely fucking get it. I just feel like, I wanted to share what was going on with me. It was very interesting. I don't think anyone can really prepare you. And by the way, so many people have so much unsolicited and solicited advice. Bless you all. And I don't really actually think any of my friends listen to my podcast, but I really, and I could cry right now, by the way, still all the hormones that are getting out of my body. So many people have been really, really kind and checking in with me and helping me along the way. And I am really, really grateful for you and for all the people that have not hit me up, inclusive of my family. Get fucked. So anyway, the whole thing is fucking weird. The whole pumping yourself up. Like, I just didn't know. I felt like every day was a new thing. Like, they kind of tell you the schedule. And if you followed along the journey, it's like I was supposed to start in April, but the nurse didn't order all the meds. And so then I had to wait another month. And it's like, in hindsight, it's like I was too stressed out and like work was literally falling apart. And I'm like, do I like go on the sober journey and like work out and be healthy? And it's just, I was feeling a extreme amount of paralysis with it all. Like, it was too much. And for me, I think because of a lot of stuff that happened to me growing up and because of my family of origin, I really shut down when I get nervous, scared, unprepared. You wouldn't think it. I know. I'm loud. I talk a lot. I'll fucking call somebody out, but I really do. Like, if Rachel and I are in a fight or if there's something, I just shut down. I really do. I mean, I definitely dissociate. And that's something that, I've tried to work on in therapy and I've gotten a lot better at it. I really have. But with this whole situation, I just didn't really understand what was going to happen. Like, I knew I was going to take medicine shots and like you go in for an ultrasound every couple of days to like see how it's growing. But honestly, I don't even know what's happening inside of me. I mean, God forbid we have a health class growing up where we really, really educate kids about their bodies and about their friends' bodies. Like, huh? I mean, for real though, I'm like, wait, where are the eggs in the sac and the fallopian tubes? And like, why are we counting how many follicles I have? And like, where are the eggs? And what does that mean? And how many things do I have? Where I am in the process right now is that I don't know how many survived. I don't know what's going on. The retrieval happened and I'm here to tell the tale. And it's been hard to record. I haven't wanted to, for the last 3 weeks, like go in and record anything. I haven't wanted to do anything, quite frankly. I've just been chilling at home and anxious and watching fucking an insane amount of television and having not a lot of energy. And so I think there's a lot of focus on like, how many eggs do you have and how many did you get and did they survive and da-da-da-da. And I'm not here to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about how many eggs I had or didn't have. And I don't know what the fuck happened. I could release this and be so upset because it didn't work, and that is okay. And that happens. And I am mentally and emotionally prepared for that because a lot of people don't talk about that. And it has happened to a lot of my friends, and it's heartbreaking, and this sucks. And, fertility and women's bodies and those who have ovaries and follicles and eggs and all that jazz, this shit's wild, like on some real shit. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. And there is nothing less sexy than fucking pumping your body full of hormones in your stomach at 10:30 at night every single day for 2 weeks. And it was a lot. So the thing that, nobody really prepares you for also is like the aftercare, the aftermath. I have some friends, they're totally fine. Like, God bless them. I have a friend who we actually went through IVF at the exact same time together. She's cool. I'm looking at her Instagram. Shit, bitches in fucking Malibu. I gained so much weight. Like, my stomach hurts. My organs hurt. My inner organs, my vagina. I don't know. I call everything my vagina. I'm clearly uneducated and I have no idea what's going on down there because we live in like a weird, fucked up, like the heteronormative Christian society, and no one really taught me anything. But it hurts to go to the bathroom. I feel like I have gas pains and my tummy hurts, and it's wild. It's wild. But those are things that no one really told me about. They're like, don't lift anything, don't work out. And you feel like you want to work out. Like, you just want to kind of like slough it off and keep it moving. But, your ovaries could flip. What? Flip? Flip where? I'm like, flip inside out? Like, what the fuck no, who knows? Who knows? But up until yesterday, I was completely passing out at like 4:30 in the afternoon and just feeling horrible cramps and just sitting, eating pints of ice cream. Also probably why I've gained weight and I'm bloated. But you know what? Who fucking cares? If you live anywhere near a Baskin Robbins, they currently have a special flavor. It's coffee with Oreo. 10 out of 10 across the board recommend. Really rivals mint Oreo, which is hard to do. I would even say get a scoop of each, but they don't have mint Oreo right now. And just being like a lump on a log. I mean, a lump on a log? A bump on a log? A frog on a log? I don't know what it is. But just not feeling great, feeling heavy in my body for a variety of reasons. So yesterday it was okay. Rachel and I were like, what the fuck are we supposed to do on Memorial Day weekend? Since no one invited us to legitimately anything, and clearly I'm making cries for help on the internet. So we went to I took her to the farmer's market, her least favorite place in all of Los Angeles, where like supermarket sweeped as many organic vegetables and fruits as possible, made her stand in a 25-minute line to get pastries. Oops. Took the dog to the park, and then we went to Pasadena to Salvation Army and like the Goodwill and bought a bunch of mugs. You like fun mugs? No better place than a Goodwill or a Salvation Army, let me tell you. And then I came home and like passed out. I just, I'm exhausted. And I think, I'm exhausted from the last 6-8 months. So that they don't prepare you for. Like, they don't prepare you for the anxiety of going into it, how sore you'll feel. Again, I had a friend reach out and say she went through 5 rounds of IVF to have her one daughter, which is amazing that it worked. And she has her beautiful daughter who's literally like a cherub, and that she had no problem with IVF. Me, I'm like, damn, I have no money and I don't want to do this again. Fucking shit. Maxed out my credit cards. Insurance legit pays for diddly shit. Literally diddly shit. And I now have absolutely no money for contraband, Mounjaro, and an upper bluff, which pisses me off. But it's a crazy process. They gave me the Michael Jackson drug, also recommend. I went in there. I've never had surgery other than my wisdom teeth taken out. And they gave me laughing gas. And I remember loving it. I was like, ooh, this is great. And I was in my early 20s and I got so thin, which obviously I loved. I mean, that was painful. I had my anoids, I think they're called, in your throat. because I kept getting strep throat and my, which I think is like effectively your tonsils, and my wisdom teeth taken out at the same time. And it was painful. When folks tell me that they're getting their wisdom teeth taken out and they're like above the age of, I don't know, 15, I'm like, ooh, honey, it's a bloody, achy, lakey, dark road you're heading down. And I am sorry for you. And I, of course, like my mom, like did not take care of me. I stayed at my parents' house under the assumption that she was going to take care of me. But I do not recall a lot of tender care, tender love and care. Just remember her being like, I actually think, if I remember correctly, no, they were there because they had to like drive me home. I think they left. I don't know. It was fucking weird because I was like in her bed, which, why? You know? Anyway, but the Michael Jackson drug was très fantastique. The surgery room I went in, it was all women, which was dope. And they were all like in their white suits. And they're like, I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm on literal TV and you are going to take a little saw and saw open my brain and like sell it for parts. I don't know this is crazy. But it's intense. You're like naked. You're like moving down. I mean, at this point, my vagina had been fucking just looked at a bajillion times as like whatever. And you're just out, and then you wake up and it couldn't have gone any better though. I woke up and I had heard the nurses earlier saying that they had gluten-free pretzels. And I'm like, if you try to give me gluten-free pretzels, I swear to God, like nobody wants that. They're gross. They taste like little like eraser tops. Like, don't give me that. And she's like, I have Cheez-Its. And if you know anything about me, you would know Cheez-Its are really the heartbeat to my life, to my joy. Extra toasty, even better, but you have to be a real one to have those. And I had apple juice, dusted Cheez-Its, was hysterically crying and called Rachel and quickly hung up on her. I mean, I was a wreck. I was also on fentanyl, which I thought was illegal because everybody keeps dying from it. So the nurse is like, oh yeah, you're on the right as she's administering, oh, I'm going to give you the Michael Jackson drug. I was like, girl, what? And then went out. And then when I woke up, I was like, I feel fine. I feel great. She's like, yeah, you're on fentanyl. I'm like, what? Huh? Am I going to die? What's happening over here? And then you go home. And I was like, I'm fine. I could be on the internet, but I could not. So yeah, it's just, I think a lot of women do it alone and they do it quietly. And I feel badly for that. Whether you're gay, straight, alone, whatever, the reality of the situation is a lot of women are going through IVF because that tool is there for us, which is great. Tons of women suffer from endometriosis, fibroids, PCOS, etc. That can really make it difficult to get pregnant naturally. A lot of people are old, like me. A lot of people just don't like fuck dudes, So I feel better than I thought I would. I'm a nervous Nelly, full of anxiety, full of fear a lot. I think a lot of people are. But I just released all of that. I'm just like, what the fuck, man? It is what it is. I prepared enough. Should I have maybe stopped drinking for 6 months or, eaten organically and like not use perfume? You know what? Maybe I should have done that. But I didn't because I work in media and entertainment, which is very stressful. But I'm like proud of myself. I did something I'm going to share. I could probably make me cry. I was like in the gown and I kept making myself go to the bathroom, bitch. I'm like with the fucking IV in the little bag and I'm like wheeling my way in. And let me tell you, actually, can I give you all a suggestion? Get a motherfucking spray tan before you go and get retrieval or implantation because your butt is out. And I look 20 pounds thinner with a good spray tan. And I was like, oh no, honey, my butt is everywhere. Like, oh, good Lord, have mercy. I was like, oh my God, I wish I had a spray tan. And I think you're allowed to. They said no dark nail polish. And obviously I have crazy nails and I was a little worried about that, but everything was fine. If you want to be extra safe about it, wear a light color nail polish. I did not. I have these sick like butterfly nails. And I was like, oh boy. And Rachel goes, oh my God, your nails all the time, your nails. And I'm like, you know what? I don't care because this is who I am and this is who I've always been. And you know what? It's too far now. Here's the thing. Another thing nobody tells you. You're supposed to not wear dark nail polish because they put the little clip thing watching your heart on your finger and it can mess around with it. Well, guess what? Nobody told me. I have to book my motherfucking nail appointments like 6 months in advance. If somebody had told me, then maybe I would have known. So here you are. But I went into the bathroom for the one last time and I'm like hobbling about and I looked in the mirror, really looked at myself in the mirror, my sad, sad eyes and my melting candle face. I looked at her and immediately was like, shit, I need some Botox and maybe some like lasers on my skin. And then I looked deep into my eyes and I said, I love you. I'm proud of you. And you got this. And it makes me emotional, because I'm not very nice to myself. And it breaks my heart, that's why I don't want to talk about egg count, blah, 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 blah. Fuck it all, dude. It is what it is. And, this has been an emotional thing. That's why I wanted to have these different people on the show for the 3 people that I'm just kidding. But for real, I mean, there's some fucking cheesy shit out there about this and really polished and really just not realistic. And I didn't want to do that. And I think if I had listened to something like this, I would have been like, damn, that girl definitely needs to stay on her antidepressants. But also like, hell yeah, this shit's fucking weird. Like everything was weird while I was on this medication. Like it was weird. And I feel weird right now. And I'm sick of being weird or feeling weird, being weird and feeling weird. And I feel bad for Rachel because I've like cooped her up in the house, but please believe been cooking her dinner every fucking night. Like, like, okay. It's not like I'm not pulling my weight around this joint. Jesus Christ. Made her motherfucking fresh pasta the other day. Get out of here. But I just don't think that, I don't know. I mean, I love when you guys hit me up because I just heard crazy shit. Like one listener was getting her drugs from the fucking Cayman Islands or something, which is nuts and awesome. But like, if I have to do this again, or if I choose to do this again, then shit, maybe I'll do that. Or like the sharing of the drugs. I mean, a lot of people hit me up with some, like I said, some unsolicited advice, which is totally fine. But I was like, not here for it. I took it and I appreciated it. And I think everybody goes through their own thing. And here, we all know I'm a busybody and I love to give you my opinion. And I'm sure a lot of you behind my back say to themselves, Liz, get fucked, which fair enough. Don't listen to me. I'm typically right, but it's okay, But I didn't want to hear shit. I had some friend call me and tell me that something to the effect of she was like shooting or some IV drip with egg whites. Babe, I love you. I've known you for a long time if you're listening, which I know you're not. What are you talking about? I was like, girl, no ho. No, thank you. Don't want it. I'm not putting egg whites in an IV. Also, I looked it up and you can die. I don't know. Everything seems crazy. But all in all, I took 1 day off of work. Barely. But I'm alive. They're alive. We all made it. I'd like to give a strong shout out to the folks that go through IVF with children. What the fuck? Poor Ravioli Toes. She was losing her mind by day 4, begging me to play and to party and I couldn't do it. I was like, girl, I am too tired. I got cramps. I cannot do this with you. You have to go play. I'm making her little puzzles, trying. I'm like, Rachel, fucking play with this dog. Like, she wanted me. I mean, who doesn't? But God, you guys with kids or with little babies, you're not supposed to fucking carry anything, lift anything. Shout out to you. I hope your partner, whoever that is, really picks up the fucking slack because, oh my God, would that be hard? Truly hard, truly difficult. Truly insane. I truly don't know how you do it. But we get through hard things. You know, we do. I've been through some hard shit in my life, and so have you. And you get through it. It's like you push. I look back on my early 20s. I had no money. I don't even know what I was doing. I mean, God knows things were different back then. But as if I'm like, oh, back in the 1800s. No, but inflation is real, man. Shit. But we've all been through hard things, hard breakups, deaths, job disappointment, job fuck ups, getting laid off, getting fired, quitting jobs, worse things, assault. Get through it. I don't know how. Sometimes not in the most healthy of ways. I'm certainly one of those people, eat too much, drink too much. Obviously, for my diary episode, I smoked a lot of weed. But I'm being honest, you just push through. And so for me, after I told myself that I needed to get more cosmetic procedures done to my face and that I loved myself, I just did it. And I'm here and I'm doing it, and I don't have a pang of anxiety. I'm not obsessing over it. I'm just like, fuck, man, it's out of my hands. I prayed to Tupac. I did energy work. I took the fucking vitamins, man. I drank the water that I needed to drink. I need to drink more water in general, by the way. And I can hope for the best. And that's the shit that nobody prepares you for, is just the release and the hope that it all works out the way that it's supposed to. And we can all give each other these tips of castor oil on your belly. Like, whatever, dude. People told me some crazy ass shit, which I'm a believer. I'm a sucker. I'm down. I'm down for everything except for egg whites and a fucking IV. I'm smart enough to be like, what? But at the end of the day, I think it's the energy, right? It's being kind to yourself, putting out the good energy and really hoping that it works out. And, then if it all works out, you have a kid and the kid is loud and will ruin my beautiful furniture and my house that I've just been decorating and destroy my body and will make me nervous forever. So fuck, truly. I'm going to have to fucking go ballistic at any teacher, any parent, any child that talks shit to my kid. Could you imagine? So we have that to look forward to. I'm scared to have a baby. I'm scared to be pregnant. I'm scared to give birth. I'm scared to deal with parents at school. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. That's what I'm really scared about. I don't want to make parent friends. Blech. No, thank you. No, gracias. Not for me. Forced friends. I already did that. I went to fucking boarding school. Survival of the fittest. I actually have like 2 good friends from boarding school, but still too hard, too difficult. Can't do it. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your kindness through this process. If you are not subscribed to my Patreon, go ahead and give it a little subscription, as low as $3 a month. I appreciate it. Helps put this show together, helps me rent studios, and helps me pay my editor. So be kind to yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror. Maybe not as critically as I did, but lovingly, in a loving way. You could be thinking about having a kid. You could have gone through IVF. You could be thinking whatever it is. Just know that you can get through it. You can do hard things. You can. Seriously. Sometimes you don't think you can, but I'm here to tell you, you can.